Hello, Heroclix land. Welcome back to Talkn Clix, where we celebrate the heroes of Heroclix. I'm your host, Wespool. With me, as always, is my faithful co-host, Scott the Missing Link. Hello, Scott.
Good evening.
We have a very special episode for you tonight. Who's our special guest tonight?
Tonight we have Cole Stiriz.
Howdy. You got it right. That was perfect.
Got it right. All right.
That was perfect. Yes.
Thanks for the warm-up.
All right, if the host at Tonight Show ever retires, we'll put Scott's name in to be the new announcer.
100%.
Cole Stiriz, come on down.
Hey.
I always feel bad for those guys. You know, those guys that have to announce all those weird Hollywood names and bands and like, wow, that was really good.
I deal with it at work a lot. If I get like a work order for someone and I'm looking at their name, it's sometimes I call them and I'm like, hello, sir or madam. Like I don't try half the time if it's a name completely out of left field. But anyway, thank you guys for having me. I'm excited.
I try, and I'll butcher them if I need to, but I usually get pretty close.
You're good. I'm excited to be here and talk about little plastic men.
All right, so the question,
there's women in there too.
The question on America's mind. Oh, what was that?
Oh, I said little plastic people of all sorts. Yes.
Right. So the question on America's mind tonight is, how many bricks did you put on your Santa wish list for Christmas Eve?
Oh my gosh. I didn't put any on, which is crazy. But the reason I didn't is because I'm testing. This might be a little weird. I'm testing my new stepmother. So she hasn't been with my dad very long. The very first Christmas we had together, I was tickled by this. She was asking my dad what I liked, and he said my son loves Heroclix. She had no idea what that was. And this was back in, they haven't been together too long. This was probably Christmas of 22. She went on Amazon and she bought the first Heroclix thing she found, which was a loose booster of Nick Fury and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So I got a single Clix booster for Christmas from her, and it was very goofy. So I'm eager to see if she still remembers that I like Heroclix. Maybe she'll hop down to my locals and buy me some Strange or something.
No, you're gonna get some Justice League.
Yeah.
So yes. I'm gonna wake up Christmas morning and unwrap some Mutant Mayhem or something.
Hey, I like that set. That was a fun set.
I did too. Actually, maybe we'll talk more about it. But I played Clix way back in the day. I took a big hiatus and then I came back.
Oh later. Yeah, it's in our questionnaire. So if you just
want, perfect. I'll hold it then.
I want to stay on this for a second because I just had this conversation with my wife. We've had this multiple times for every birthday and Christmas, and she's like, "All you ever want is Heroclix." But I don't know what to get you. I'm like, Heroclix. She's like, which one? I'm like, it doesn't matter. You give me a brick of the oldest set out there. I'm going to love it. There's going to be something in there for me. She's like, but I don't want you a crappy one. I'm like, it doesn't matter. It's a sealed product. I'm going to love it.
I just told my wife the other day, it's funny. So every holiday season rolls around. Clix isn't the only game I play. Like I do some other card games and stuff. And I joked to my wife, I was like, I'm not actually in the hobbies for me because it's fun. It makes easy gifts for the family. One family member could be like, I'll get him the Heroclix. The other one's like, I'll get him some Yu-Gi-Oh! And my sister will get me some Star Wars Unlimited. They don't have to think about gifts if they don't want to. They can just default to that and get me something easy. So,
look, I'm good with socks and underwear, so whatever.
I used to be good with socks. I kid you not, there was one year, this was back in probably 19 or so, I got like 27 pairs, and that's not hyperbole. Everybody that year got me socks.
So
and
you
still have like half of them.
I'm about to say, you still have a few left over.
Yes, I haven't gotten socks for Christmas in like 6 years because there was one year where everyone did it. So hopefully, if they're not getting me socks, they'll get me Clix.
So Scott, how many bricks did you ask Santa for?
My wife just asked me today what I wanted for Christmas, and I'm like, there's a new Heroclix set coming out. But hey, it's whatever. I usually get 3 bricks.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, a case and a brick. I used to get 2 cases, but with the price increase, I dropped it down to 3.
At least the bricks are a little bigger now. You get a little meteor.
That's
brick.
what she says.
A meteor brick. Ugh.
I always say 1 brick, and I end up getting 2 to 3. I always say 1. I'm only going to get 1 brick this time, honey.
Okay. I actually, for Christmas, I've never gotten a full brick. I never have. I've gotten, like I said, I got the loose booster from my now stepmom a couple years ago that tickled me. But growing up, I don't know why, but growing up, Heroclix was always my Easter present. So every Easter, when I was younger, I would get my Easter basket, and there would be candy and whatever in there. And my dad always got me 2 boosters of Heroclix with my Easter basket. So
That's awesome.
yeah, my like primary through elementary school, that was my Easter gift every year. So in my brain, that was the childhood Easter gift, which was so goofy, but I always had an Easter basket with Heroclix.
I'm sorry, I can't think about it that far back. I've been playing since the beginning, but I was a young adult when it came out. I was in my
so
20s.
let's have a little contest here, Scott, because I have no idea. And based on that, what he just said there, it throws me off even more. Let's see who can guess closer to his age.
Oh yeah, go for it.
I'm going to say 28.
Okay.
I was also going to go 28, but I'll go under 27.
Oh, Wes, you sniped it. I am 28.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was going to go 28, but you picked it.
I mean,
so.
your instincts were on. Great minds and all that.
So that means
I'm 28.
he would have been like 3 when HeroClix came out.
Wow.
I played. I obviously didn't get into it right when I was 3, but I got into it like early.
HeroClix been out for 23 years, so you'd be 5.
Oh, that's right, because it was 02. 02 was Infinity Challenge.
Yeah.
Then I got in pretty darn close. The very first tournament I went to, I obviously wasn't winning any prizes because I was a very small boy. But I always won fellowship because I was so horrible at the game. And my very first LE ever was Carter Hall from Hypertime. So
Nice.
I don't have a ton
those
of.
that don't know, that is Hawkman.
It is Hawkman. He's like 10 feet away from me. I don't have many pre-carded figs these days, but I'm never getting rid of him. He's special.
Well, I feel incredibly old right now.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
So, do you have any nicknames we should know about, or we can tease you on the show?
Oh gosh. I mean, I have like my online handles and my gamer tags.
Yeah. What's your online handle?
My online is Mini Milk. A lot of my friends online call me Mini. But I always tell people if I'm playing a game online and they see my name, 95% of people will call me Mini, but there's that like 5% that will call me Milk, and it's very weird. So if you want to be that really weird 5%, you could call me Milk. But I think it's going to reflect a little more weirdly on you than it will me.
Nah, it's all right, man.
At least that's
Milkman.
what I think. So,
Nice. So, do you take your vodka martinis shaken or stirred?
I was
Steer it.
shaking. I'm a Bond boy. I take them Stiriz. Oh no. I'm a big Bond boy. Actually, that's so funny. You remind me. So my very first email I ever created, I'm not gonna like harp it out right now, but I still use it to sign up for like rewards programs and stuff. And it's themed after James Bond because when I was in middle school, I was obsessed with James Bond for a while.
So you were going to be a spy.
I was.
He might be.
I could be now, but if I was a good spy, I wouldn't tell you.
Yeah, he might be. You don't know.
No. An immaculate spy would tell you and still leave you questioning. All right. So what do you do for a living outside of HeroClix?
For a living, it's not very exciting, but I do like it. I'm like a handyman. I do apartment maintenance mainly, but I do side work as well, fixing up people's homes. So
And you haven't burnt through 27 pairs of socks yet? Like that would be like an annual thing.
Yeah. No, I guess I'm not working hard enough to do that.
So what's
Not walking enough.
What's the most
it's 'cause They
disgusting?
get me all the cool ones. I don't want to wear my,
Oh.
my Doctor
Okay.
Strange socks to work. I'll ruin them, get them covered in drywall or something.
What's the weirdest or most disgusting handyman job you've had to do?
That's tough. Most recently, I have a tenant who. So just for context, I work in the Toledo area. I manage in the neighborhood of 300 to 400 units, and among them, we probably have 3 people that are like true hoarders, like you would see on like a reality TV show. And those are very they're very scary to be in because you watch a show like Hoarders and you're like, surely there's no one like that out there in the world. And occasionally I have to go there and, fix their toilet or replace a light switch or something. And most recently, one of my Hoarder guys called in that his garbage disposal was not working. So I go there to fix that. And not only was the garbage disposal not working, but it was rusted out. It had corroded through the bottom of the disposal and had ruined the entire underside of his kitchen cabinets.
Ew.
So they were covered in mold. They were covered in gnats. He has a cat, obviously not well taken care of. There was just cat litter and other things that are in cat litter all over the floor. It was so gross that, like, if I'm working in a crawl space or something, I'll wear coveralls to stay clean. I literally wore them while I was working in his apartment doing plumbing work because it was so gross. I didn't want to touch anything. And I felt bad because, I don't want to make him feel bad of his situation that he's, clearly aware of. But yeah, it was very, very gross. And then also we had one over COVID. We had some COVID people who became shut-ins. We had one woman who only DoorDashed McDonald's, and instead of throwing away her leftovers, she would throw it into the corner of her room. And as she created a pile of McDonald's leftovers, instead of eventually throwing it away, she went and she took a bed sheet and she draped it over her pile of McDonald's. So her entire apartment just became hills and valleys of McDonald's leftovers. And you can imagine the smell.
That sounds like my car. Sounds like the backseat of my car when I was single.
Oh, I hope not, Wes. Because again, if you have a hoarder who hoards their apartment, you can bet they hoard their car. So there's like one car in each parking lot where the driver's seat is clear, and then the rest of the car is packed to the gills.
Look,
and it's like, ooh.
I tease a guy, a former guest of the show, Matt Donham. We tease him about all the trash that he has in his car. It's not as bad as a hoarder,
yeah.
But we tease him about what he has in his car. And we tell him that he has the Star Wars trash monster.
Yes,
in his car.
I have one friend. He doesn't habitually have a messy car, but he did one time, and I remember it because we got into his car, and instead of apologizing for the mess, he turned around and he goes, "Sorry about all my treasures." So every time we hop in a messy car, we act like, "Oh, it's just treasure."
These are treasures. All right, so back to the trash compactor thing. My wife is significantly shorter than I am.
Okay.
So when I get in the car after she does and the seat automatically starts crushing me, I'm yelling at R2 to open the blast doors.
Yeah.
The seat stops smashing me.
Yeah. Shut down all the garbage masters on the detention level.
Over the blast doors.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Are you boys big Star Wars guys as well? I know we're here for Heroclix, and there's unfortunately no Star Wars Clix, but I mean,
I am.
You smell like Star Wars guys, maybe?
I'm a well-versed Star Wars person. Before I got into Heroclix, I used to play a card game called Star Wars CCG.
Sure.
And it had a ton of words on it, and it was very elaborate. Because when you went to go play in an event, you had to have a light deck, according to what your opponent had or what you had, and you would play against both. And I don't know. I'm not going to say I was really good at it, but I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Okay.
I like to say I'm an equal opportunity nerd. I appreciate all nerd levels of every kind. I grew up on Star Trek. I was much more of a Trekkie, but I had a strong affinity for Star Wars and loved the original trilogy, obviously. Kind of started falling off after the prequels. Started coming back with the sequel to the originals. But then after Mandalorian came out, I was like, okay, they're just making this weird now. I don't like it anymore.
Sure.
Well, after Disney got a hold of it, they took away like a lot of the canon stuff. Like the whole Young Jedi novel series was like, nope, that's not true. I'm like, oh, come on.
That reminds me. I don't want to turn this into the Star Wars show, but I just have to shout him out. My buddy Eli, who was at Red, White, and Clix running side events. He came over the other day and he had an old iPod that he dropped off for me and he said, "Here, I loaded all my old Star Wars audiobooks onto this. Go crazy." And so I started cracking open some audiobooks at work the other day. I just started the first book in the the 90s Thrawn trilogy. it's been really good so far. So
I think the
I love
worst.
to dive into like the old Legends canon. See what I'm missing.
I think one of the worst things that George Lucas ever did was there's an old adage that just because you can do a thing does not mean you should do that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went back and added the digital extra stuff to the original series and doesn't mesh at all, and it actually detracts from the storyline, in that Jabba scene with Han, and he walks over his tail, like, it's just so horrible. Like, you ruined your original masterpiece.
I have a fun story about that. So my wife and I got to see Star Wars Episode 4 with a live orchestra.
Oh,
played.
Nice.
It was fantastic. We saw it a few years ago in Toledo. It was beautiful. She wasn't even like a huge Star Wars fan, and I'm pretty sure she cried like multiple times just because it's having the live Star Wars music in person. It was just unreal. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And then we didn't get a chance to see 5, but we went and saw 6, I believe, last year. And same thing. It was magical. Live orchestra. It was great. But there's one scene in 6 that was added in Jabba's palace where some of the CGI aliens like come out and sing, and it was so funny because everybody and their mom was there enjoying the show. That scene starts. The orchestra puts down their instruments because they didn't need them, and everyone is just moaning and groaning over this whole scene until we get back to the good stuff. But it was like a pilgrimage for people. There were people there in cosplay, and then there were people there in like 3-piece suits because this was like a religious experience for them. But that one scene in Jabba's palace completely took everyone out of it, and just,
all right,
it didn't sound.
So do you have a favorite? Do you have a favorite of the 9 movies?
A favorite of the 9?
Yes. And why is it Phantom Menace?
You know, I do like Phantom Menace. I would probably say Revenge of the Sith, though, because, and this is going to make you boys feel old, that was the first one I saw in theaters. So. little old, maybe?
I've always had a...
no, not too bad? Okay.
I've always had a heart... I'm supposed to place my heart for Return of the Jedi, but...
Return was my favorite when I was a kid. 100%.
Episode 3. I saw when I was in Iraq, and we put us in this giant, like, I don't know. There's this giant dome over us, and they broadcast the film on the ceiling of the dome, and it was really cool to watch it that way. And so I have a special place in my heart for that, just because it was such a unique experience and one of the few real joys I had in Iraq. So episodes 6 and 3 are my 2 favorites.
6 and 3?
Yeah.
All right. I don't have a favorite episode per se, but if you could take half of Empire Strikes Back and half of Return of the Jedi, the beginning of it, that to me was the best story arc in Star Wars, or part of Star Wars.
Yeah. Return was my favorite when I was a kid. I don't know what it was about it that was so magical to me. It was probably the most action-packed. There was less exposition because we knew our heroes. We were jumping in already. Not that there was a ton of exposition in the other ones, but I would say 3's probably my favorite these days, just for a variety of reasons. It's got some nostalgia for me. It's got some very cheesy moments, but it's got some very beautiful moments too, I think. But still, the back half of 6, I guess not the back half, like the last act, that confrontation between Luke and Vader, where he like throws down his saber and stuff, and it's so perfect. That's that final chunk of Return is so cool. Love it.
All right, so back to Heroclix.
Yes.
Yeah, when are they going to make Star Wars into Heroclix? Okay.
Yep.
That's a question that everyone's asking. When will we actually have Heroclix, and will it be viable if they brought Star Wars into Heroclix?
100%.
I think so.
If they can do Thundercats and Power Rangers, they can do Star Wars easily.
Yeah. Oh, especially with Marvel being under the Disney umbrella, like it's.
So
I'm not an IP master, but I feel like.
My stormtroopers can all have a 7 attack.
Exactly.
So I asked this question to Dial H back in the day, and they said it would be super boring because all the Jedis and the Siths would all have the same power set. And that's not true. It's like we have multiple Captain Americas, multiple Iron Men in a set. Each one of them has a different power set, but depending on which episode you're pulling from, which scene you're pulling from. So they can each have a different power set. I think it would be a fantastic thing.
Say Nightcrawler in this last set, he has the alternative card, he has the rare version, and he has each one is totally different. Each one plays totally different.
I would see it as like a really fun design challenge.
Yeah.
Because my first thought was like, we have so many tanky characters in Heroclix. Like how many Hulks and Things and Colossuses? We just have like big beefy guys, but they still come up with ways to iterate and create new ways of showing a big beefy strong guy. You think, oh, there's probably only a couple ways to do that, but they keep slicing that 1,000 different ways. So I feel like it would be.
So I've lost track of IP infringement and who owns what.
Yeah.
I know at some point George Lucas signed off the rights to all Lucasfilm Star Wars stuff to Disney, but he's still on as an advisor.
Okay.
But I know back in the day, he was so narcissistic about it. He would only allow certain theaters to air it at certain times. Like he had all these specifications. He told them not to sell out certain seats and to leave certain amount empty. So I don't even know if he has a say if he would let them do Heroclix.
Yep.
Like I don't know where George Lucas is on that.
I couldn't say, but I'd love it. I think it'd be fun.
All right, I want to bring you back to Heroclix now.
I'll bring it back to Star Wars.
Name your local shop. Give them a shout out.
My local shop is Checkmate Games. It's on Central and McCord in Toledo, Ohio. I've been playing there. Oh gosh, I played there a bit pre-COVID. On and off from like 18 to 20. COVID happened, and then as soon as they opened back up, I've been there most weeks when I can. So.
All right, so give us a timeline of your Clix journey. So you started when you were like 3 in diapers, and when did you take your break? Five.
Still in diapers.
Hey, I'm 45 and still in diapers.
Yes, we start in diapers and we end in them.
Yeah,
100%.
So when did you start? When did you take your break?
I started again near the beginning. I couldn't say exactly when. I was 5 when I was in kindergarten, and I know I started in primary school. And again, my first LE was from Hypertime. So very early. I played from whenever I started, very early Clix, up through about Supernova. The way my scene looked when I was a kid.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
Before cards and Supernova.
I did.
Okay. Sinister and Supernova were some really good sets. I love it.
I had
Sinister 8, 9, 16, 2 was the common tag for it because that was everybody's starting click.
Really?
Yeah, 8, 9, 16, 2.
You guys would probably know better than me. So let me give the full breakdown before I end on. I know exactly where I ended, like figure wise, but so my venue was run by my local pastor. He was to this day the biggest nerd I've ever known. He was so goofy. His house looked like a toy store. He had comics, board games, video games, the whole 9 yards. And I was good friends with his kids. So I would go over there and we would play Heroclix all the time. He had like huge wall displays of all his figures. He kept everything like out in the open. So again, it looked just very much like a toy store. And he ran our local events. So we had people from like several cities actually in Northwest Ohio that came to play. It was at a church in Wauseon, Ohio, which is like half hour, 45 minutes west of Toledo, in Fulton County. But yeah, we had people from the surrounding area come to our church just to play Heroclix for our weeknights. And then we did tournaments in a town about 15 minutes away called Napoleon. There was a shop there called Mel's Card Shop. And I don't believe it's open anymore. But Mel did Pokemon cards a lot. He was a huge sport card guy. But then he also did Heroclix for us. And so we would do our locals at our church. And then whenever, we had like really good prize support or there was like a new release or something, we would go to Mel's and play at the store. And that went on again, like through most of my primary school into elementary school, and it was super fun because I got to play with my dad. My dad is not at all a nerd guy. He's not into Star Wars. He's not into Marvel. He's not into any of this nonsense. But he played Heroclix with me just because it was something for us to do. He's not like a strategy game guy either. Like he's just a workhorse, and I think wanted something to do with me. So growing up, it was a really special game because it wasn't like these days. Clix is me and my friends. I've brought a lot of my close friends to play Clix, and I've met a lot of cool guys playing Clix. But growing up, it was me and my dad. Was why it was so fun. And my dad eventually started judging because my pastor, as pastors often do, move around. He eventually left Northwest Ohio, and my dad took over running events for us. But unfortunately, just couldn't keep it going. Like my pastor and his family were such a core part of the group that it took a lot of steam out of it. And so I remember the final prizes we ever got, because my dad was getting mailed the prizes, was, I think his name was like James McDonald Hudson, which was like the LE of
Drax.
What's his name? No, he's the member of Alpha Flight, Guardian, I believe.
Oh, okay.
Big Maple Leaf.
Not North Star. He was Vindicator.
Yes, yeah. He had his flight stand was just a big piece of white plastic that went into it was very goofy. So those were the last LEs we got in the mail, and we unfortunately never went to another event where we could give those out as prizes. So for a while, I just had 3 of those James McDonald Hudsons or whatever they were sitting in my basement. And Clix was just like, we stopped. We didn't have a venue to play anymore. My dad and I occasionally played at home, but for the most part, I loaded them into a box and they sat in my closet until high school. And then in 2015, I brought on a handful of my friends to work at a summer job with me. And on our commute was a store in Toledo called Old School Gaming. They're not where they were originally on like Airport Highway in Toledo. Now they're down in the Maumee area. But that was my first Clix venue as like a young adult. And so we randomly stopped in 2015, just to check out this game store. And for the first time in like a decade, I saw Heroclix. I didn't know that the game was still going. I had no idea that they had cards or anything. And so we were just like marveling, no pun intended, at all the stuff. The store owner had a ton of drawers of past sets. And so we got a history lesson. Like one random day in the summer of 15, we talked to this guy and he was telling us about the game and cards and, here's the newest set. It's the Age of Ultron starter kit.
Nice.
Has ID cards. And I'm like, what's an ID card?
What's
They have
that?
regular cards. I don't, what's happening? So, we picked up some Age of Ultron starters, got some Avengers Assemble, some Invincible Iron Man. And then we started playing every week, and I've probably been playing every week since the summer of 15.
Awesome.
So, and here we are. Now I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah, 10 years later, or 23 years later.
It's all leading to this.
Yeah, this is it. So, you went to a event right around a month ago called Red, White, and Clix.
I did. It was my second time there. I had a blast.
And you walked away as the Battle Royal champion.
I did. I had so much fun doing BRs all weekend, actually.
So was that your intention going in? Were you just I'm just gonna do BRs all weekend, or?
No, honestly, it was. We had a great time last year, and we knew Eli was going to be involved with the side events this year, and so it was kind of just like a boys' trip. We wanted to go away for a weekend, have a good time with you guys,
and make sure Eli was working.
Make sure Eli was working. No, it was nice though. Like we were there. It was me, Eli, and our friend Blade. We all went together, along with a handful of folks from our locals who came down separately. But we came down, with Eli to help set things up. And
yes,
I think we wanted to be more hands on deck, if need be. But as we realized we had enough free time, it was like, okay, let's be the side event boys and play casually.
Yes, I want to shout you guys out because some of my help that said they were going to help set up bailed last minute, and I was running a little behind. You guys showed up at like 8:00 at night and put some tables together for me and got it done way faster than I could have done it. So thank you very much for pitching in.
Yeah, we got to shout out the people who were there first. You and your family were killing stuff, and then I think Matt showed up like around the same time.
Same time as you guys, yeah.
Yeah, so we definitely didn't. We didn't start things. We didn't start the fight, but we ended it.
So how many?
The cavalry.
Yeah.
Yes. So how many
we
BRs did you play?
What's that?
How many BRs did you play over the weekend?
10. I did. I believe it was 10 BRs and a super sealed because I was keeping track in my phone to make sure I knew how much I was spending. So it's 10 BRs and a super sealed.
Nice.
So very fun.
So why didn't y'all play in the modern age or team sealed?
Why am I not? Well, team sealed was a maybe. We were kind of up in the air about whether or not we wanted to or not. The main factor was going to be, is Eli going to have time to step away from doing the side events to do team sealed? Is that what we want to commit to? Do we want to do X, Y, or Z? And honestly, we had spent so much time doing BRs we knew we were going to have fun continuing to do that. The other folks who were there doing them with us were just all-stars. They were really cool. And it was, it very quickly became Heroclix at its best to me, which is when you're not eyeing the clock, you're hanging out.
That's what the whole event Saturday felt like to me, was just like a hangout. And then the final game where you could hear a pin drop was like, come on, guys, I need some ambient noise, because it got kind of stressful in that last game. Be like,
I love doing Clix. I understand we need to have a clock going, especially when people are paying to play. But once you've, we were doing BRs with a lot of the same guys. So the rust had been knocked off. The ice was broken. We'd seen the figs before. So we were very easily able to just sort of hang out and play, which was exactly what I wanted. I knew if we were in a more main event, there was going to be more pressure to be extra focused. It was going to be less social, probably. Not that there's not time to, be friendly and chat and make small talk in a regular game. But our main goal was just to hang out, and the side events were perfect for that. So,
all right. So X-Men 97 feels like one of those sets that you either hate or you love it. And some people specifically did not want to play Team Sealed and BRs because they said that X-Men 97 is a bad sealed set and it was no fun for them. Other people are like, this is an amazing sealed set. I love this set. It's perfect for sealed. How did it feel for you after playing BRs for 2 days?
Yeah. Let me snag something. Give me like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
I've got something that'll help illustrate my thoughts on it. So.
Right. My thoughts on it was it is a phenomenal sealed set. There's nothing that is absolutely auto win except for maybe a prime rogue, and those are one in every 10 cases.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Prignanos. When we talked to them, the backpack of the group was the one that had the chase. He was being carried through by his teammates, and they had the lower rarity stuff. So it's not necessarily you pull the chase, you're going to automatically win.
Yeah, absolutely not. I did across the 10 games. Let me think. I don't think I pulled any chases out of a pack.
Wow.
And still managed to have a good time, have fun, win a good chunky games. Gosh, I don't think even in my super sealed I pulled anything too spicy. I'll get to my full thoughts on this set, but I just have to say one criticism of the sealed format.
Sure.
Is this guy right here. This Magneto was pulled in the first BR we did for the weekend. And this made for the most unfun Clix experience I've ever been a part of.
Why?
If you're not familiar with this figure, it has a trait that says characters not named Magneto. Exactly. with one or more action tokens cannot be given actions. So if you didn't have this Magneto or one of the other two Magnetos in the set, you were playing every other turn. Oh, there are three?
Yeah, you got the Talkn and the super rare.
Yes. So if you didn't have a Magneto, you didn't get to play very much. It reminded me of, I don't know if it was the first Disney Plus set or the second one that had Titania. I got to play at Adepticon a couple years ago when that came out, and Titania was very similar. She blanked a bunch of figures' abilities to use special powers, and just made the game not fun. So, aside from Magneto, I thought it ended up being actually a very fun sealed set. We actually just did more of it at my locals a couple days ago. We did, because we started our Sentinel storyline, OP stuff. But aside from Magneto, nothing feels too lopsided. I think in order to make BRs fun, you have to have the right mindset at the table. I think it's fun to make it political. You got to treat it like a game of Monopoly, right? It's not a game of Heroclix anymore. It's you go after him, I won't go after you. Let's gang up on her, and then next turn we can get him.
And then you backstab each other.
You gotta wheel and deal and play the table, and then backstab the people you're making deals with to steal their points. It's so fun. So
dirty.
Yeah, it's a completely different beast. The set, design-wise, I really like it. I'm a big X-Men fan. I love 97, but the way the pieces work, there's a lot of synergy in the set. Even weird little things like, I don't know, the amount of politicians. Like you have Magneto that can get his tokens removed by, what's her name? Val. You've got the Friends of Humanity who hate on the X-Men figs and are usually breaking your theme for you. So yeah, as a self-contained sealed set, I had a lot of fun with it. As long as you don't pull a Magneto, I think you'll have a good time. As long as someone at the table doesn't pull one.
Okay, so worst figure in the set, other than Magneto.
Worst figure? Ooh, in what way? Just in however I interpret it?
Yes, however you interpret it.
Worst figure.
You want to say business suit Gambit or white tuxedo Gambit?
Yeah. No.
Dial, he's great.
Yeah. Worst to play, I almost might say that Gambit, but I love sitting across from him because he's the easiest 70 points to get.
Yes,
I farm him over and over and over. People pick him because he's got the perplex, he's got the feedback damage, whatever, when he's KO'd.
It doesn't work in a battle royal.
No, it's he was just easy points a lot of the times, and 70 is a lot. You have so many 6 health figs in the set that are 50 points. That Gambit's the same dial length for an extra 20. So
you got a 25-point Jubilee for 6 clicks. I'm like, come on.
Exactly. I think I was least impressed. It's not a very exciting answer. I was not very impressed with. I think it's like a Sentinel Technician. I think of the goons, he's probably the worst to get. Just not a fan of him. The top dial support.
Support's not very good in a battle royal. It's just the
it's not great. You know, point denial doesn't help a lot when you're denying it to, you're denying it from one person and then someone else is just going to snag it. The values aren't there. He's probably the worst goon. I never hated pulling the Friends of Humanity that much because, they're good tie-up pieces. You can get some blades off. They can be kind of sneaky. Or the one with the gun, I think, might be an enhancement piece. But yeah, that dang Sentinel tech, he was kind of the booty one. Otherwise, there was nothing really that I hated seeing. I think Monday I got a cap, and he put in so much more work than I thought he was gonna. The rare cap was deceptively nice for just.
I got one more question on this set before I let Wes ask something. I'm gonna jump in here.
Yeah. Forge.
Do you give the adversary or do you not give the adversary?
That's part of the politics. That's part of the politics right there. You sit down at the table.
You have politics, but in a regular game, if they have one probability control, do you give them the adversary?
Ooh, it depends what the rest of my team is, because you are maybe if you have one prob, probably not. because it's one prob and you're giving them a perplex. I'd be hesitant if it was one prob. I probably wouldn't do it.
Okay. What's your cutoff? Is it 2 probs?
What's the cutoff? For 2 probs, I would do it. It's if I'm killing 2 support powers, I'll give them the 1, maybe.
All right, in a set with almost no invincibility, Mystic's damage is king. I'm telling you.
No.
It depends. It depends what the full team comp is,
I'm just saying that if you're going to give me the adversary so I can't use prob on 2 figures, then I feel like I'm getting the bonus out of this because I'm a flyer, I'm a giant, I have charge, I have great size, I have great size willpower, I have invulnerability, I have poison, and I have a perplex.
It's a decision. It's a tough decision.
So what I like about it though is it is there is a little nuance there that you can pull the trigger, not pull the trigger depending on the setup, and there is a cost gain ratio there. It's perfectly balanced the way Clix should be.
It would probably depend on. It would probably depend on how like alpha strike dependent my team was. If I wanted to fight through, like I'd rather fight through 1 perplex than 2 probs in a vacuum, generally speaking. And my opponent having a giant may not disrupt my game plan. So it would come down to team comp and stuff.
I'm just gonna say that it doesn't add up to me because it's only a limited probability control that you're modifying. You're like, okay, you can't affect my attacks. Great. Yeah. You're not affecting my attacks most of the time anyway. You want yours to hit.
Right.
And you have to have them lined up. So if I can position this one guy in a place where you're only getting 1 prob, I don't know. To me, he's not worth it.
We all can disagree,
I like
Scott.
that he's able to spark that much discussion, though. It's a fun fig.
Yeah. So what was your thoughts on the BR packs, the POGs?
Oh, I liked them, generally speaking. There wasn't a ton of variety when we did them. I think we exclusively had Black Panther ones. But as a whole, I liked them quite a bit. There was one BR, because a lot of the time I prioritized getting a leadership fig. And there was only a single BR that I didn't end up with any leadership. And I managed to snag it on my POG. So that was very valuable. Yeah, I like them. They're a nice. There's considerations to make. They're easy points to give your opponents potentially. So you have to be really careful with them. But they can also be a cheap tie-up. If you have something like Goose, that's a really cheap perplex and a potentially nasty attacker. So they were a mixed bag. But I thought they were a lot of fun. If we had a chance to use them again.
Is it an improvement over just putting them in chase boosters and nobody can have them?
Oh yeah, 100%. I didn't know until, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Like just in terms of an availability standpoint, absolutely. Just being able to get them out there, have them be playable, 100%. So whether or not they, enhance the BRs is, up to discussion. But in terms of them being a consumer-friendly product, yeah, I love them.
What do you think about Scott?
I like them.
Oh no, yeah.
Did you like him, Scott, or did you get a chance to play?
I didn't get
you didn't
him.
give him a play. But what do you think of the concept?
I love the concept. If it's getting the pogs that are like they're exclusive. Now we discussed exclusivity in a previous show with the nerds of the round table, or the round table of nerds, however you want to call them. Table of round nerds, yeah, because we're all roundish.
We are.
So I feel like the exclusivity, getting stuff into people's hands is great.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, do more of those, please.
Agreed.
All right, so I want to break off and discuss a particular topic because I don't want to run out of time before I get into this. A lot has been discussed about Beetlejuice recently, more so than there has been. I mean, he's been discussed to the moon and back.
You're welcome.
Scott and I are semi-pro Beetlejuice. The Generation Clix guys are definitely against him. They've preached about that. They beat that dead horse over and over again, brought him back to life and beat him dead again. Where do you fall on Beetlejuice?
I So I come from card games as well, and in Magic terms, I think he'd be called like a Staxy figure. In Yu-Gi-Oh, he'd be a Floodgate. He's toxic, however you want to slice it. He's a toxic, nasty piece. That's not a question in my brain. It's then a question to me of, does Heroclix need that toxicity to rein in other figs? And I say, yeah, I'm fine with him.
I feel like he is a problem. He can be a problem for certain builds. But if you don't build with him in mind, it's just like saying, okay, I'm never going to face Unimind. I didn't build with Unimind in mind.
Yep.
Then you're building wrong, or you're preparing yourself wrong. So you have to have a plan, whether it's sideline or main board. Have a plan, and then go that way. If you're not building with a plan in mind, then you're building for the field to take care of the Beetlejuice, which you can totally do, because you're not going to be able to cover everything in the game. You're going to have some weakness somewhere. So you build what you want to build. You let the field take care of the ones you don't, and hopefully you don't face one.
So I want to quote a friend of mine that I was texting this morning, and he had a very interesting thought on Beetlejuice.
Go for it.
He says, quote, "It's definitely hard to tell with Beetlejuice. As a newer/lesser player, which he's not, he's being very shy, I kind of like having access to something that can help level the playing field. It's not doing well, but seemingly not a dominant presence in Modern. The feelings it creates are disproportional to how good/meta defining it actually is. But I am speaking purely from a theoretical perspective. I've only played against Juice once or twice. I think it's very interesting to break it down as far as like, how game breaking is he really? It's more that looming threat that makes people go, oh, I can't play this team that I want to. Yes, you can. He was on 3 teams at Red, White, and Clix on a 63-team Modern.
That's one out of every 21 teams.
Like, yeah, is he... Does he change the way you play the game? Potentially, if you face him. But with 3 out of 63, your chances were not high. And does he really dominate the board?
3 main force, or just at all?
3 main force, and then there was probably 24 that had him sideboard.
Sure, sideline.
The fear that he envelops in people, generates in people, seems disproportional to the actual threat that he is to the game, I feel.
I think it's good to have, like in any competitive metagame, of like whatever game, it's like Scott said, you have to prepare for X, Y, and Z matchups, and you have to understand that no matter how you build your team, there's going to be matchups that you are not good into, and your game plan going into the tourney is going to be, okay, I've prepped for X and Y. I didn't have enough to comfortably prep for Z, so my game plan is, I hope I don't get matched against them. And that's fine. Like, you cannot prep for everything. I think you have to understand that.
Yeah.
Again, like, if your viewpoint is that he's not fun to play against, I think that's perfectly valid, and I wouldn't argue that. Should he be in the game? I think so. I think he is a good living threat. I think the numbers, like you said, for Red, White, and Clix, like that's, if we're just looking at that as a sample size, 3 main force is not crazy. 1/3 sideboard. I think that speaks to how valuable the sideline is these days. And it's funny to think that as powerful as he can potentially be, he's not at a higher number than a third of sideline.
How unfun does he make the game? Does he make the game unfun to the point where you avoid going to Modern events just because of him? Or does he just make it unfun enough to like, man, I hope I don't face Scott without Beetlejuice?
Yeah. It's just something you have to consider. And that's to taste. You know, people have different ideas of what's fun. When you're competing, you're usually competing to win. And one of the ways you can win is to make it hard for your opponent to play the game.
But Beetlejuice isn't even winning.
Yeah. Yeah. There's numbers that, suggest how viable he is. But regardless of whether or not he's winning, if people don't like the play pattern he creates, I wouldn't clock him for that.
I did a research this morning on Beetlejuice, He is number 34 currently in the month of December on the meta list.
Sure.
He is on 33 teams or whatever. He has a win percentage of 46%, 46 point something percentage.
Yeah.
He's gone up several spots from last month, but he's still in the mid 30s. Does that make him great?
No.
Not necessarily. It's just saying that you're going to see one somewhere sooner or later.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like hypersonic speed still works.
Right.
Charge.
A Beetlejuice on the opposing team still works.
Yeah.
So now I don't get to pick Animal Man stuff if I have a Beetlejuice. And all you got to do is run over here and hit me with a flurry or a God Killer sword, and I'm done.
I was going to say the fact that it's a reciprocal effect, floodgate effects are just inherently more toxic if they're one-sided and they're only affecting your opponent. Beetlejuice being reciprocal, design-wise, makes it more fair to me. Obviously, if you are playing him, you're going to build your team to function better with him.
It's still hard to build a team with him because he's taking your own freeze.
Yes. It creates a more simplified game state a lot of the time.
Well, that's what my friend was saying. When you're a newer player and you're facing somebody with spots and I don't know, Pegasus or not Pegasus Cap, but Kelsian Cap with all these free actions, Beetlejuice evens the playing field a little bit.
He does. I think he's really balanced in that way that he may balance the playing field in that a newer player can plop him down and nerf an experienced player's complex team.
Yes.
But I think a newer player still isn't going to have the nuance to build with him and play with him as effectively as an opponent who's sitting across from him.
That can be said about any piece. I mean, nobody who's brand new is going to be able to pilot any piece as effectively as it could. But just being able to put the piece on the board and say, no free actions, period, I think is a very balanced way of playing the game for a new player.
All right. I want to get off Beetlejuice for a little bit.
Sure.
Aww.
No. There was an interaction in one of my games the other day that Rogue Prime was a part of.
Okay.
Rogue Prime was fighting a Sinister Syndicate team, and she came across the board and smacked somebody, and then she gets to make another attack if she's moved, but that can happen later. It doesn't say it has to happen right away. Right. So then she decides she wants to outwit a spider bot. And she's going to outwit a power that the spider bot has no access to. Because the way the power is worded, it says pick a power on the PAC or special ability the character has on the card. So if she wants to take exploit weakness or whatever, pulse wave, if it's not a close attack, but if she wants to take exploit weakness that the spider bot does not have and turn around and slap Sandman, she can do so. And she has exploit weakness. Because she's borrowing a power.
Yeah.
Out of thin air.
Yep.
So what's stopping me from picking a WWE power? In modern age, it's not legal. But in Silver Age, I got to have a WWE element. I can pay 5 points for the ring, or I can just put a WWE character on my sideline for free.
Yeah.
And now I have reversal.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I'm gonna have to consider that at locals.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It doesn't make sense on how she can borrow something or take something that they don't even have access to. I understand that if I have access to it via a one-shot or a pick a power or a sideline element, I have access to it somehow, some way. But if it's something I don't have access to, how can she take it and use it?
Flavor-wise, it probably should have the stipulation that says outwit a power if you do outwit that. I don't know. If
outwit that states it on the PAC or a special power on the character's card.
Yeah. It's
outwit is what's worded improperly, I think, for that.
Yeah, she would need some adjustments to make it work from a flavor standpoint. Because it is weird to snatch a power from the ether that you don't have access to.
Yeah,
but it's very funky.
So speaking of interesting interactions, Scott and I both play tested Sandworm for the first time last week. Yeah. And Scott ran into a very interesting interaction with Sandworm that I actually had to go and ask on the Judge channel and a couple other people. Scott, break down the scenario for us.
Okay, so I had Sandworm, and I had a bunch of extra elements. I had 100-point head, 100-point body, 60-point tail. I had Fortify. I had Animal Man on the head. I had a Snake Pit. I had Resolve of the Green and Power Gem or whatever. I had my 300 points. I came into a game where I ran against a Hadar Yao team.
Okay.
And Hadar Yao got over there and was able to pulse wave the head and the body in the same attack.
Okay.
The trait says it's protected pulse wave. So I can roll the damage over to the tail.
What's that?
I can roll all the damage from the head to the tail and the body to the tail.
Yeah.
So we didn't know how it was going to work if it's 2 instances of 3 damage to the tail. Because if it's 2 instances of 3 damage to the tail, I cannot use Fortify. If it's 1 instance of 6 to the tail, I can burn a Fortify and keep the tail alive.
That's interesting, yeah.
And then on top of that, the tail's not in the pulse wave, so the tail technically has Mystics.
Ooh.
Does it give 2 damage of feedback or 1 damage of feedback?
That's really interesting.
So the way we ruled it at the venue at that time was it's 2 instances of 3.
Okay.
Killed the tail, but gave 2 instances of feedback for the Mystics since it was not in the pulse wave radius. That was incorrect. It should have been 6 damage, 1 instance of feedback, but I could have burned the Fortify and saved the tail.
Ooh. That is a very interesting interaction.
It was 1 instance of 6 damage?
It's 1 instance of 6. Wow. That's the way it was ruled via Matt. Matt chimed in and says, no, it's all on 1. I'm like, okay, cool. We did it wrong, but at least we were consistent in the ruling of it's 2. Sure. So you get 2 feedback because it's not in the pulse wave radius.
So the damage. Oh, I'm interested. Wait. So it was ruled as 1 chunk of 6 damage, but
it's 1 chunk of 6 damage because they're doing it all at the same time.
Okay. But two triggers of Mystics?
1 trigger of Mystics.
1 trigger. Okay. That's
so
more sense.
The reason I had the head have Animal Man is because I wanted super strength for my hypersonic speed, and I could pick up the Snake Pit. I can run over there and hit somebody, and then drop the Snake Pit for my second move and put it underneath them, and then drop the body right there next to them. So then I would end my turn giving them a crushing damage from the body and give them an action token. And the beginning of their turn, the Snake Pit would say, have a click of damage.
Yep.
So it's just 2 instances of free damage that you're not even using.
Yeah. Interesting.
So I just want to say the body is really good.
I haven't gotten to play against it too much. I don't have one myself, but I know several of my guys.
I also had Soul Siphon in case I need to save the body.
Oh, yeah.
Just give me a little regen for the body.
Do you gentlemen, are you a fan of one-shots generally? I feel like I've been seeing some
it's a mixed bag. It feels like feat cards lately. You played when feat cards were around?
I did.
I feel like it's just feat cards revamped 20 years later.
More efficient. More efficient point-wise for sure, though.
Definitely more efficient point-wise. Yeah. But I feel like Wizkids is going to have to do something to rein them in. Back in the day, feat cards went wild. You would have 60 points of feats on a team. And then WizKids says, no, we're going to implement a 10% roll.
10%, yep.
I feel like with all your free equipment that you have, because that would be part of your sideline element type stuff, I feel like they'd have to reduce it to about 5%. Yeah. So you would have 15 points of costed stuff that's not part of your main force.
I'm interested to see how it's going to shape up in Silver sometime, because they're obviously not the same, but I'm thinking of like how point efficient ID cards could be for such little investment. Not all one-shots are created equal, but some of them just have such crazy value for the point investment. Like it's silly to not include some of them. So yeah, especially in Silver, I'm interested to see how they're going to treat them. If there's going to be like picky and choosy with which ones are legal, or if there's going to be some sort of blanket restriction, like you said, maybe a percentage, something like that. But,
so this is going to be a hot take.
It's going to be a 10%/5% roll coming. Yeah, it may not happen until like 2028, but it'll be here.
Yeah, brace yourselves because this is going to be a hot take. All right, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, I definitely prefer miniatures in a miniatures game. I feel like with all this sideline stuff and one shots and extra stuff going on, it is bordering on being a card game as much as it is a miniatures game.
Yeah.
That's just my personal thing on it because I want there to be like when the Peacemaker came out and there was a card for a helmet that didn't exist.
Yeah.
That drove me crazy. Make the stupid helmet.
Hey, question. Do you know any 3D printers that you can shout out right now that could make you a helmet?
Absolutely. John Hoffner, a Clix creator, he made the cool 3D boxes and the
action tokens,
the databases and action tokens.
I was just gonna say I have some of my tanks as well.
He's still printing the Red, White, and Clix maps for me. Those will be going out as soon as he's done. He's busy with the Christmas season right now, but he's getting them done, and I'll be shipping them out. But yeah, you need anything printed, he can print it out.
That second Red, White, and Clix map looks great, by the way. The first one, obviously super cool, but the second one, I like.
You like the outdoor one?
Oh yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's a nice variety.
But my other hot take on it is, I actually was a fan of tarot cards. I know that a lot of people did not like them, and I understand the reasons why. But I did enjoy them. I liked the randomness of it. I liked the particular ways that they were used, and I liked that they affected both players. I don't see a huge difference between one-shots and tarot cards as far as like basically what they do. They do the same basic ideas. They're just implemented differently. I just prefer the tarot, randomness of it. I wish they took up a silent space and point value and that kind of stuff too. But I feel like one shots are getting that kind of out of control, and the fact that you can just keep flipping it back over whenever you want, that kind of thing. I think they may be reined in. But I would be an advocate for tarot cards again.
If one shots are like feats, the tarots were almost like a rotating battlefield condition. Yeah,
purple cards. That's exactly what they were, and they could be super abusive. Now, granted, you would only get one battlefield condition per game, so you and your opponent would have to both potentially agree to play them or have one.
Yeah.
And you had 3 different cards that you could play. One of your cards was always Ordinary Day.
Ordinary Day.
Just in case you didn't like something that they had.
To this day, I keep it in my pouch and take it to locals in case I keep an Ordinary Day on me. I keep one loaded just in case.
Extraordinary Day was just a 10, 11, and 12. It's a crit. So that one was a really fun one as well.
But the fact that I think there's like 5 one-shots right now in the game that just say you don't take damage, like that's crazy to me.
It's
a 20-point card back in the day called Protected.
Protected, yeah.
And if you got hit, you just flip that 20-point card. You'd be like, "Here's your 20 points." Continue on.
Which is a lot more than 5.
Yes, but you could have multiples because it wasn't limited to 1. You could have 20 before the restrictions of the 10% rule. You could have 5 protected if you had 5 characters. You want to spend 100 points on it? Here you go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. The economy is very different now that we have multiple sort of damage evading or damage dampening, turn ending one shots. It's a big can of worms discussion. It's like it's like Alpha Strike versus protection from the Alpha Strike. You know what I mean?
It almost makes it an advocate for the rivalry card that said you're going to hit no matter what. If you're going to have all these cards that say you don't hit, then maybe we should have something that says you do hit.
Yeah.
I don't know. But congratulations on the BR championship. That's super cool.
It was a lot of fun. I just had a great weekend. Especially I had a good time at the first Red, White, and Clix. But I mainly stuck to my bubble. The second one, we were just a lot more social. I feel like we were a lot more comfortable chatting with new folks, and everyone we talked to was great. We had some people who were maybe only an hour away, and then we had some great guys from Tennessee who were playing with us. We had, I believe, Ryan, who was I think a Wizkids rep.
Yeah.
I think he said, who was super sweet, really fun to play with. So it was a great time. We just had a lot of fun.
I'm gonna give you a couple questions here.
Gymnasium,
conference room.
Conference room.
Really?
Chairs 100%. In the gymnasium, chairs in the conference room.
Oh, chairs in the conference room, absolutely.
Tables in the gymnasium, tables in the conference room.
For what I was doing, conference room. Maybe main event. We want those big tables, but those were perfect for BRs. A couple of those in the conference room.
Awesome.
All right. And my final question about Red, White, and Clix. Did you fill out the Clix? Did you fill out the questionnaire that was sent out?
No.
No, they're looking for feedback. So
if it's still open, I can do it.
I know the host of the event, and he's looking for as much feedback as he can get. So
I'll send you a link.
For sure. I can do that.
Yeah.
I will say I generally had a great time. I had a great time last year. If folks are watching and they've been considering coming out, I say go for it. It was great. I didn't obviously play in the main event. I was a side event boy, but I had friends in the main event. They seemed to have a good time. The vibes were super comfy for the most part. Like, I don't think there were many, I don't know. It didn't seem, at least from the outside looking in, that there were many road bumps, but I had a great time. Everyone seemed like they were having a good time too. So,
did you want to participate in the hot clicks?
I was actually thinking about it. I didn't pull the trigger on it because it seemed like there were folks who were more eager to hop in there than me. So I was comfortable being what's that?
I bought a handful of tickets because my buddy that I traveled with wanted to go into it. So I'm like, look, if he pulls my name, here you go, Kenny.
It happens.
He pulled my name back to back. I'm like, well, I guess I'm playing now.
Yeah. I was considering it, but I don't know. I can handle a little bit of spice. I don't know how far I could have gone. Maybe next year. Maybe next year we'll be sitting down to do this, and you'll be talking to the hot clicks guy.
And then I took it. It ruined me. I could have went 7.
Rewind.
Man, this internet sucks. I said that 6th wing was hot. Then I drank soda, and it ruined me.
Ooh.
To where I could not get that 7th one.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so I want to get back more on our normal line before we get to the rapid fire questions. Are you a better builder or a better pilot?
Oh, that's a good question. If I had to guess, I'd say better builder. Well, that's tough. No, you know what? I'm gonna say better pilot. And I'm looking more towards like my sealed experience. There've been a lot of like David versus Goliath games, not just in BRs but in regular sealed, where I've made a lot with a little. Which, I mean, you could say is more towards the build, but I mean, if I'm building with pieces that I don't like, if I don't have a big pool to build from, then I think it comes down more to game sense. And so I guess I'd lean a little bit more towards that. Having like a little bit better game sense. I don't think I'm particularly great at either one or particularly bad at either one, but
that's fair.
Give myself a little bit more on piloting, maybe.
How do you open a booster?
I use my keys or a knife. I usually have a knife in my gaming bag. I'll cut the tape at the top. And I at the top, and I open the tab. I've not used
for doing it wrong.
Destroying the booster.
You're good for doing it wrong. That's fine. All right. Do you prefer a tent pole, a one-man army, or a complex build?
Ooh, generally complex build. I get a lot of flack at locals. I'm always the last one to move tables because I have to move my tray and then my cardboard box that I brought with me and then my book bag because I brought a 16-man team and I'm trying to do something weird.
And then your binder of cards because you have so many pieces.
Yep. Yeah.
Do you see the game as the Matrix or the Red Dress?
Oh, gosh. I don't know what you mean by Red Dress.
All right, so
I would lean towards Matrix.
You're familiar with the Matrix movie, yes?
Yes, I've only seen the first one.
There are people that can see the code of the Matrix. They don't see the woman in the red dress. They see the lines of code, the ones and zeros behind it. And there's people that just see a pretty woman with big boobs and a red dress. Do you look at the game as a mathematical formula to be solved, or is it a game of a dance between you and an opponent, and you're seeing the figures on the board, not just dials?
I lean more towards a song and dance. I'd say the red dress a little bit more. I do have like a very
aware that the Matrix is behind it, running it.
Yeah, 100%. I've seen it asked before. Like people have posited the question: Is Heroclix a good game? Would you play it if the IP wasn't attached to it? If it was just a dials and numbers? And the answer for me is no. Like I wouldn't be playing if it was just discs with numbers on them. Right. The fun to me is I like feeling like I'm the collector or the grandmaster.
I agree.
And I'm orchestrating this big cosmic whatever with a fellow elder of the universe or something silly like that. But I was gonna say I do have like a very competitive brain for games. Like I have the potential to, but I'm most comfortable playing casually, maybe intermediately. My favorite type of Clix is being at home, playing with the boys, and making like a comic accurate team. I like cracking, like a complex build. Like I do that for locals a lot. I haven't been out and done anything super competitive recently.
States are coming. States are coming.
A lot of my friends are asking. They're like, "What can get you back in the game? What's gonna get you? What's gonna get you to come with us somewhere?" The answer is time. The answer is just time. I do like competitive Clix. It's just a time thing. But I think it's at its best when it's like you said, it's like a song and dance. There's figures on the table. Obviously, the numbers matter, but it's I love it for the flavor of it all.
All right, would you say your playstyle is more aggressive or defensive?
Generally a little more defensive.
It's kind of hard to do with all the alphas, but I mean, if you can survive the alpha, then you have a really good shot.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird. Typically I'm playing like, oh gosh, I don't know. I like some of my favorite teams are like the mutant swap, X-Men and Hellfire swap, Hellfire especially. And there's a lot of flexibility to do either depending on the build. But so many of my locals hate me for when I'm playing Hellfire and I swap into like Harry Leland, or if I do a Brotherhood thing with the Colossal Exodus and make like a weird force field, and or Jason Weingard bring in the Prime Bishop Pog plus Harry Leland, and you create So I've got some weird defensive jank that I like. So I lean towards that. I think it's fun to make my opponents have to count squares and work to play the game.
So where's your starting point when you go to build a team? Like if you're going to the next state's tournament, are you starting with a keyword, a particular mechanic that you want to work around, a character, a prime? Where do you start and build from that?
So part of the reason I haven't done anything super competitive recently is because I need there to be something competitive that I like, which is true for other games too. Like I said, I've grown up playing a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh. I still do play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh, and the only time I play something meta is if I like it. If I don't like it, then I'll just play something rogue. So in Clix, usually I'm starting with a keyword that I like, just for the flavor, which is like part of why I was drawn so much to the mutant swap teams. I love mutants on both sides. I like the keyword. And then from there, I also really enjoyed the flexibility both of those strategies afforded. So for me, it's got to start with something that I like. And then I start looking at, okay, how can I make this thing that I like competitively viable, and go from there, right? So if we were looking at if we were looking at a meta that was relatively solved and there was a very clear best strategy, we have a lot of numbers for like the best pieces that are being used right now. I wouldn't, start at that list and gravitate towards what's best. It sounds silly and kind of hacky, but I truly would like start with what I like and then see if I could make it work. I wouldn't delude myself into thinking that I could make any keyword work. Like I'm not going to be bringing Modox 11 to Red, White, and Clix next year or something, or Batrox Brigade. I can't do that, even if I wanted to, probably. So I'm not delusional, and what I can make work. But you gotta start with something that tastes good, and then see if you can cook it up and
make it even better.
Yeah.
Like, I'm loving Primus, but I'm finding it hard to make a team that I want to take to a states level event.
Yeah.
I mean, I can do so much fun stuff with Primus at my locals, but is it going to be viable? Now, again, once you find your flavor, don't be afraid to take it to the next level, because if you know it in and out, your knowledge of what you can do and how you can affect other people can set you levels up than what the team would be on paper.
Yeah, there's a surprise factor too to bringing something rogue, not rogue, the prime rogue who's really good, but something off meta. Bringing something that people don't expect can just be a huge, boon to you. So there's a fun element to that, and I find that more in card games. Like the disparity between good and bad Heroclix is different than the disparity between like a good and a bad Yu-Gi-Oh deck. I find in Heroclix, it's a lot easier to bring something slightly off meta that your opponents aren't completely prepared for, and be able to snatch a really weird win with a jank team. So I really do like that about Heroclix.
But you got to be able to do it multiple times, because you may face those same people in the cut, and it's like, they seen it once. Can it happen again? And that's the hard part.
Yep.
All right, 2 rapid fire questions. So I know Scott needs to tuck somebody in.
Sure.
Not specifically in Heroclix, but in general, DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Okay.
I'm a native speaker in Marvel, but I'm fluent in DC as well.
And who is your favorite character?
Gwenpool. The unbelievable Gwenpool. Yes. The unbelievable Gwenpool, specifically from her original series. I've not been a huge fan of what they've done with her since. So don't judge me too harshly if you've read like Gwenpool Strikes Back. But what's that?
You don't like the dark costume?
I like the dark costume from the original series. I didn't much care for the newest run that Mr. Kevin Scott did. But
okay, I have one more rapid fire question before we begin the questionnaire.
Yep.
2d6. You rolling a crit hit or a crit miss first?
Me? Crit hit. 100%.
Exactly.
Nice.
Perfect.
Oh yeah.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
Good job. Scott, do you want to pause here and go tuck your little one in, and then we'll finish up?
No, this won't take but like 5-10 minutes. We're almost done.
All right.
He's still got to brush his teeth and take his meds, I'm sure.
I'll try to be quick.
So, Cole, here at Talkn Clix, we have a tradition called the Clix Questionnaire. You've
Okay.
been playing since you were 5 years old. You have some very high-level friends in the community. You've come to Red, White, and Clix 2 years in a row. We've been talking to you for over an hour now. Like, it's one of our longer episodes. But does the Clix community really know you? Do they really know what's in your soul, what makes you click? I don't think they do. So I have developed the Clix Questionnaire. It is a scientifically proven, ironclad way for the Clix community to know you inside and out and know what makes you click. Are you brave enough to answer these questions?
I am, Wes.
All right.
Fire away.
Toilet paper, over or under?
Over.
Coke or Pepsi?
Ooh, Coke.
What is the best sandwich?
A Chick-fil-A grilled chicken club.
If you could go back in time and tell your 15-year-old self one thing, what would it be?
Ooh. It was a weird first date, but you're going to marry her.
What power matches your personality? Outwit, perplex, or prob?
I would say prob.
Would you rather win a big tournament with an underdog team or barely squeak by with a meta monster?
Oh, we talked about this. You got to go underdog.
What is the first
Dun,
Clix?
dun, dun.
What's the first Clix you ever pulled that made you fall in love with the game?
Ooh, so Carter Hall was my first LE, but my first unique was Silver Surfer, and my second unique that I really loved was Zorn. And those were like I think the only two uniques I ever pulled from packs. I loved both of them. Those were really special to me when I was a kid.
One was awesome. I love
Yeah.
it. All right, super senses or shape change. What would you rather let your opponent roll for?
Oh, let my opponent roll 4? Shape change. Too many senses buffs.
All right. Do you talk to your dice or figures? And please be honest.
Both. Yes. And they listen. They do.
All right, 2026 movie blockbuster is going to be coming out, and it's about your Heroclix life. Who is playing you?
Who's playing me?
Yes.
Ooh, that's a good question.
I'm going to say Eli because you guys both look alike.
Who's handsome and talented enough? I can think of a streamer who looks like me, but I mean that's not like a great shout out. If I'm thinking Hollywood celebs who looks like me, you know what? I don't know his name, but
what's he in?
He's the guy who played the young Han Solo. I want him to play me.
Oh,
I think he could do it.
You know who I see is the guy who played Robin in the Bane Batman movie that didn't really get a chance to shine.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Yes, him.
Absolutely. He could do that. He could kill it.
All right. What is a piece of Heroclix strategy advice that even though you know it's good, you choose to ignore?
I choose to ignore. That's tough. Because I normally try to come very prepared. I choose to ignore.
Mine's prob is good. It's not. I don't like it.
It's not. I don't know. I don't want to go back to the like meta versus rogue stuff. But I guess again, generally speaking, like I'm gonna choose flavor over function a lot of the time. So I think just generally speaking, I'll play a suboptimal strategy if it's more fun to me.
I love it.
Whatever that means, you know.
I love it.
Sure.
All right. What is the most used phrase at your Heroclix table?
At my Heroclix table, it's the opposing person asking to be reseated. Probably. They'll be like, Ken, can I sit somewhere else?
What is the last TV show that you binge watched?
Binge watched. Let me think. I don't think my wife and I binged any anime recently. If I go back, it would probably be Star Wars Bad Batch, which was super good. I was so surprised. It was a banger. So.
All right. Do you have a motivational song or speech you listen to before a big event? Doesn't have to be Clix related. It could just be like a work event or.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say motivational, but sort of like my Zen song. Back when I did, like in high school and college, I did a lot of speech and debate competitions, and I would always pace the halls listening to music. And I usually tried to make sure that I included my favorite song, which is "Light a Roman Candle" with me. It's just a very special, like peaceful Zen song. I wouldn't say it hyped me up at all. There were things that I listened to that would hype me up, but I found like I most wanted to stay grounded.
Bring it back in.
You know what I mean? I could like center myself with that song. And I haven't used it to like focus up in like a competitive sense in a while. But when I did, that would be it. So.
Cats or dogs?
I got both, but I would throw away all 3 of my cats for my one dog. 100%.
Right. Would you rather hear, smell, or taste colors? And I love this question.
Can I be like hipster about it and say I'd rather talk to him? Yeah, I'll do that. I'd rather talk to him.
All right. So our final question on the questionnaire.
Right now, what's that?
So the final question on the questionnaire, and this is a scientifically proven theory of mine, that the entire Heroclix community is interconnected through a telepathic network. That if Scott concentrates hard enough, he can transmit a thought to you. So he's going to think of a 3-digit number. Okay? It's a whole number, no digits, no decimals. The second number is larger than the second, or no,
first number.
First number is larger than the second, and it is an even number.
It would be 4, 2, 0.
No.
Right.
Oh,
that is not.
What? It's not 420?
It's not 420.
Oh, shoot.
I've never partaken in the devil's lettuce.
That's just me being hipster again. I knew that wasn't the answer. I just wanted to be like contrarian and like, oh,
420.
yeah.
6, 7.
I can't tell you because someone else will listen to the show. Yeah, 6, 7. Nah, someone else will listen to the show, and I can't give the answer away. But it is proven that it works because of our random that we had as a backup last minute, like the day of, guessed Wes's number.
I feel like this was an hour and change lead up to me just letting you guys down.
No.
Okay.
Well, this is just so that the community can know you. But you've finished the gauntlet. You survived the hot seat, and now the entire Clix community knows who you are, inside and out. They know what makes you click. How does it feel?
I feel like there's no more questions to be asked. Everything's out there. So you can't have me on for a second episode now. You've exhausted every question there is about me.
Oh, there's always more questions.
I can make up more stuff.
There's always more questions. There's always more questions than answers in the world. So, Cole, thank you so much for being here. It's been fun talking to you. Congratulations on making BR championship. That's always a feat. You know, people are like, "Oh, the person spent more money." No, you had to survive not one game, but a gauntlet of 10 games with multiple different players, and over a 2-day period. Like that is a huge feat. Like that's no small action.
0 chases pulled. I didn't pay to win. It didn't happen.
How many of those games did you actually like sweep everybody on points?
Sweep?
Yep.
I don't know if there were any like big blowouts. I think I won 7 of the 10. Was the numbers? So I was like, it was a pretty good rate. But you know, it was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Make sure you come back next year. It's going to be even bigger and better. Any final thoughts for the audience tonight?
Final thoughts on Red, White, and Clix, on the show, on just whatever.
Whatever.
I had a good time. Thank you, boys, for having me on. It was nice talking to you. I'm sorry if I steamroll at all.
No. It's fine. You did great, and you did not steamroll it. Star Wars took over for a little while, but that's fine. It did. We put it back in its place, though.
That's what George Lucas does. He dominates.
But no, I had a great time at Red, White, and Clix. Like I said, I've been there both years. I'm hoping to be there next year. I hope more folks come out because again, like it was, we were more social the second time, and I think that really enhanced the experience. It felt great. You know, chatting with new folks, seeing some of the old.
Look, I don't like going by old, but I'll take it.
It's true. I'm getting there. Like I used to do the young gun at my Clix venue, but now I've got like, you know, people that just graduated college, and now we've got high schoolers coming in, and now people are bringing their kids, and I'm aging up. I'll be there someday.
All right, Simba, let's hear your final thought.
You want the standard Hakuna Matata, or you want the Be the Light? You can have them both.
Hakuna Matata, be the light.
Be the light.
So my final thought is, my favorite figure in HeroClix is probably the time dilation Spider-Man from War of the Realms. The throw the 3 dice, and he threw one out, and then I saw the Dormammu coming out, and I don't have one. So all 150 people listening to this podcast, if you have a Dormammu sitting at home that does the same thing as my favorite character, Spider-Man, and you want to hook a brother up, please reach out to me because I really, really, really want to roll 3 dice and make somebody sweat on it. So
yeah,
I love that figure. I love that mechanic. I think it's so cool. But
I got some stuff to dig through. I'll let you know.
No, my real final thought is just be kind to each other out there. We're all players on the board, just trying to make it through. So,
absolutely.
Thank you for being here, Cole. I look forward to seeing you out there.
Yes.
Scott, thanks again for being awesome. And as always,
Keep on Clixing.
Have a good night.
Good night.
See you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, the table starts vibrating when the shadow hits the map. Mini Milk grew up, now the milkman's where it's at. Hawkman in his pocket, caught a haul in his soul. 5 years old, rolling clicks, destiny on patrol. He walks in from Toledo with that handyman stride, fixing faucets in the day, fixing tournaments at night. Shows up early to the con, chairs flying, information setting up red, white, and clicks like a one-man battle station. 10 straight battle royale wins, no chase to pave the way. Just grit, skill, swagger, and the patience of a Jedi in play. Don't shake his martini, you better get wise. Give the milkman his Stiriz, watch the galaxy ride. He talks to his dice and they straighten up fast. They know the command, they know who's got class. He calls for a crit and the crit it's obey. You can hear probability control, praying he looks away. Milkman, rolling like a thunderhead strike. Milkman, Milkman, 10 games deep and he still says light work tonight. From checkmate games to the galactic zone, he turns every battlefield into his throne. Milkman, and he still rocks 27 socks at home. He's testing his mother-in-law with that holiday grin. Didn't ask for Heroclix just to see if she's dialed in. James Bond steps back when Cole orders his drink. Stirred is so sharp it can slice through a kitchen sink. Star Wars fanatic with the dream in his hands, waiting for Heroclix Jedi to hit the stands. Revenge of the Sith, lit fire in his chest. First movie in the theater made him feel like the best. He loves the dance of the game, the rhythm, the sway, not the math on a dry race, but someone brings to the fray. Gwen pulls in his heart with a meta pink spark. And Magneto from 97, fun ending in the dark. He doesn't chase the chasers, he just chases the flow. That's how the milkman always steals the show. Milkman, rolling in like a thunderhead strike. Milkman, Milkman, 10 games deep and he still says light work tonight. From checkmate games to the galactic zone, he turns every battlefield into his throne. Milkman, and he still rocks 27 socks at home. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's training for the role of his life, playing Cole on the big screen, victory sharp as a knife. Cue the lights, cue the music, cue the crit, hit and slam. The milkman walks out and the whole crowd jams. Milkman, dice bow down when he steps in view. Merrill Royale King with that unstoppable crew. No chase, no problem, he rewrites every rule, turning tabletop nights into legends they'll retell in school. Milkman, 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 long live the crit hitting, sock wearing jewel. Milkman.